Hello and welcome to CLEA'S World. I am Clea Necchiarico, and in today's video, I'd like to speak more about the different paths that different groups of people will take on Earth, on this planet, as we move into transitioning into our future, our collective future. But I would specifically like to focus on the 12,000, which are what the 25th dimension, which is who I connect to, is where my highest self and all our highest selves reside. What they are focusing on in this part of the hypnosis session, the last hypnosis session I had. If you want more details about this, because the 25th dimension has explained the entire cosmology of how things are happening, what's going to happen in the future, and so on and so forth, please refer back to my previous videos. I've put several videos out. Because this information can get quite overwhelming. So I've tried to split it out in digestible pieces. But before we move forward, I'd like to ask you to please like and share this video. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And do leave a comment for me below this video, because I'm really interested in seeing if this resonates with you or not. So thank you so much for that. And let's move forward. I will read from the transcript of my latest session. And when I speak about Carolyn, I'm referring to the hypnotist, and she's asking questions that I've prepared in advance for her to ask me while I'm under hypnosis. And when we get answers and I say me, it's really the 25th dimension speaking through me. All right, so let's move forward. Carolyn, Clea has a second dream she would like to cover as regards to light workers. She was told that she has taken down a game board 6 separate times before this one. Is this true? Me. Yes, it is. We send her these dreams, so she doesn't need to ask. Carolyn, laughing. She just likes the clarification. Me. She does. Carolyn. Have all light workers done this before? Me. Not all 12,000 have done this before, but they were chosen, or they volunteered and were allowed to do this by their teammates because they have other skills that will be needed on New Earth. Carolyn, oh, so there is a process as to why they're coming along. Me, yes. And just so we're clear, if you haven't watched my previous videos, the 12,000 are the only light workers on planet Earth at this time. This is who the 25th refers to. Because in English, in the general language, we think of light workers as people who spread light, who are on the side of the light team. But this is not, the 25th is very precise. And they said, when we asked, they specifically said, we only have 12,000 light workers or light beings at this time on Earth. These are people who have a specific job to do here, to wrap up this game, to take this game down, to hold it up, the crumbling matrix right now, before we're able to end this. So there's definitely different jobs that the 12,000 are doing. Carolyn, is there a message for the 12,000? Me. You're going to have to fortify yourselves. So you will believe that you don't know what you're doing. You will be scared sometimes. You will be the last left standing. You'll know the people around you. You look in their eyes and they will be empty. You will feel lonely, but this is why you've met each other. Some of you have met each other. You can stand together and you will move on together, and you will know, even if you don't think you do, you will know exactly what to do. You are helping each other. You have different skills, everything that is needed to get this accomplished, and you will be successful. Carolyn. And so can you clarify for us as to what you mean by we need to fortify ourselves? Me. It will be hard for your ego minds to conceive the possibility of you having all these powers, but they will become obvious to you, and you will feel that you cannot relate because you cannot explain these to others, especially your loved ones. You will feel lonely. You will feel isolated. This is why you must rely on each other and connect You've been allowed to find each other because it is time for you to know who you came here to finish the game with. Carolyn, how can the light team or the white team? There are so many individuals that are aware of this process that's going on in addition to the 12,000. They're wanting guidance or needing guidance as to how to remove the distractions that they're experiencing right now. They feel them, but they don't know what they are. Can you tell us what these distractions are? Me. The distractions are anything that brings you outside of yourself. The only thing that will help you is when you stop and go inside and connect. You will know everything that you need to know. You won't need to be strong. You won't need to be optimistic. You will know exactly what is happening. You won't need messages from other people. You will not need anything because you already know what this is. And if you ask, you will be given the answer. You will know exactly where you're going, what's going to happen to you because you chose this. Carolyn. Oh, amazing. Claire would like to explore more the idea of the 12,000 versus the 144,000, because this is the number that we keep hearing in the mainstream spiritual circles. Me. We can inhabit, we can energize many bodies at once. And sometimes we create our own grid by doing that. One light worker can energize different bodies across the globe to create a network that is achieving the goal of that particular light worker. We can be quite independent. One light worker can raise the consciousness of entire cities, if not countries. Carolyn, amazing. Where did that idea come from that there were 144,000? Me. It was set in the plan from the beginning that this is what we would need. It is sacred geometry. It's the 12. It's the sacredness of the number. 12 was enough. Carolyn, yes, understood. Oh my goodness. What is the difference between someone like Claire who likes the game and yet is going to New Earth and someone who likes the game so much that they don't want to go to New Earth? Me. Different goals, different choices. Carolyn. So what is going to be the difference between New Earth and other 7D planets? As a reminder, New Earth is a 7D planet. It's not 5D like we're hearing in a lot of different places. It is a 7D planet that already exists. It's just not inhabited yet. Me. New Earth is a special place. You don't get to have a new planet all the time. New planets are born, but they're left uninhabited a long time. New Earth is going to be habited by very powerful individuals, powerful energy centers, which is going to be these 7 million people. And over time, more people might come and go from New Earth, but it's mostly going to be the 7 million people. And there aren't that many of that. 7D is not a uniform dimension, just like 14D is not uniform, just like 3D is not uniform. There are different variations within each dimension. And what they mean here is that not all 7D planets are the same. Not all 5D planets are the same. Not all 3D planets are the same. Just because this is what we experience on Earth in a 3D dimension, in a third dimension, doesn't mean all our 3D planets are experiencing what we're experiencing the same exact way. Some of them might even know about aliens. Some of them are different types of slavery. In fact, it was explained to us that we do slavery by money. Other places do slavery by artificial intelligence. I know this was the plan here. The dark team had planned to get us to artificial intelligence, microchips, all that great stuff. That's never going to happen. Thank goodness. So just because we say 7D doesn't mean 7D is 7D. It's like going to a different country. You might have some things in common, but you're still going to have vastly different cultures. Carolyn, why do we even want a new Earth? Me. Because humans want to be humans. We did not all just want to go to other people's planets. We want our own, and it has been agreed upon that it is a worthwhile experiment to see what this will turn into. Carolyn, how many humans will actually die next year? And by next year, I mean 2022, actually this year, because my session was last year. As opposed to going to other planets. Me, there's only 2 billion humans. Carolyn, yes, and we'll lose half of them to dying or much less? Me, much less. Many of them will dissolve with the planet, bodies, with the planet, or planet Earth, bodies. They will wait till last minute and then they will move on, the bodies. They're referring to the non-player characters. Carolyn, the bodies, yes, me. Many people will die, but it will not be catastrophic. There will be the usual suspects screaming catastrophe because that's their role, but it will not be catastrophic. People will not be dropping off in front of us in the streets. Carolyn, that's good to know from a human perspective, because I think sometimes because of the 3D conditioning, we see that from all the movies that we watch have been conditioned to, this actually cuts off my mistake, conditioned to expect the worst, basically, that we're gonna have these catastrophic events. Clea says she's been told that she has work to do and that she should get on with it. What does this mean? The reason I left this in, even though it seems like it's only referring to me, is because there is a universal message for light workers. So Clea says she's been told she has work to do. So what does this mean? Me. She's still thinking that if she does 3D work, she can delay things. There's no delaying things. She's not going to remember everything at once. So she has to allow the time for this remembrance to resurface, which means she has to play with this energy more. This channel, and they're referring to my YouTube channel that you're watching this video, is good for her. She gets to focus on the energy, but she can't get carried away by its materiality. It's not about the channel. It's about what she's focusing on, is the creation part of it. Every light worker is dealing with something that looks different when you look at it from 3D. They're really getting used to the energy that they will have to connect to in order to be able to go through what they're doing and what they came here to do. And this is the important part that I wanted to bring to your attention. What we are doing here, we're getting ready for our future. In the future, on New Earth, when all light workers are going to New Earth, we are going to be playing with energy. And basically, the sooner we start to get used to it, the better. And what that looks like here is that we don't focus on the materiality of what we create. We create in a slow mode now. On this planet, we create, for example, when we paint, we create by using tools, vehicles like brushes, colors, etc. In the future, what we'll do is we'll have instant manifestation, but the underlying cause of this is still our creative power. And this is what we must focus on. It's not about focusing on the end result, it's focusing on our creative energy that we have inside of us. This is what they're referring to when they talk about energy. Focus on where things are coming from, connect to your heart and know why you're doing certain things. I definitely am still working on this. That's why I feel like they chastise me here, saying that I need to focus more on the energy, but I think we all can do this. All right, let's keep going. Carolyn, thank you for that. Any final things that you would like Clea and or other light beings to know about that they need to focus on or work on in order to help this transition happen? Me. Balance your energy. Learn to balance your energy. This is as all you will be doing as soon as you go to New Earth. And the sooner you learn, the better. So I think this meant to say, this is all you'll be doing as soon as you go to New Earth. And the sooner you learn, the better. Also, your energy will look however you want it to look in your reality. It might mean for you to get more sleep. It might mean whatever. It might mean to paint, might mean whatever you want it to mean. You don't even have to do anything in 3D to balance your energy. But if you find something that helps you feel like that's what you're doing and take you away from 3D, so you can reconnect with your highest self. You can come to us at any time. You can call on us. You can call us in. You can ask questions. We always answer. I do want to make a comment here. This entire game was created. We came down from the 25th, down. We didn't really come down. It's a game. We haven't lost ourselves. We're not diminished. We're just playing a role. Okay, think of this as a play in a theater. We say down because this is 3D and that was 25D. So of course, in our human experience, it means this is less. So we are not less. Okay, we are not lessened souls, essence, individuals. But as we came down, let's just use regular English here. As we came down into this 3D experience, the idea was to experience separation. So that achieved our purpose. It was a good thing. Then, of course, this game went all right. It hasn't been nearly as fun as it could have been. Sucks really, because we couldn't really explore it in a much happier way. But it seems that slavery seems to be a common denominator of a lot of 3D planets. So it's what it is. But so the idea here that they're trying to say is that we must reconnect with our highest self. We all have access to this, and all our highest selves reside in the 25th dimension. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to connect to the 25th dimension necessarily, because we're multidimensional, so we can be several dimensions at once. And I actually created a video explaining exactly how this works, because it can get quite confusing. I always thought multidimensionality, for example, meant one thing, and then it was explained to me that it was very different. So the idea is that separation is good in terms of playing the game. Obviously, it wouldn't be fun if we already knew our essence. I mean, what's the point? Then we could just hang out in the 25th dimension. That's going to be different. So there must be separation on the surface when we come here, so that we can experience something new. Otherwise, again, where's the fun of that? That's why we have amnesia. At the same time, now it is time to reconnect to the energy part of things. And it doesn't have to look a certain way. We hear a lot of repetition about some of the things we're supposed to be doing. Again, those are external things. Always be weary of anyone that tells you to do a specific thing, or that you should be a certain way. Like, for example, you must meditate, you must do this rather than that. That's not the point. You might need something different. What you need is anything that helps you specifically connect to source. And source, the way we connect, is inside. So even here, when they say you come to us at any time, you can call on us, they're not saying go outside of yourself. I realize that a lot of people out there in the New Age community communicate with aliens, angels, I don't know what. This is not to judge anybody else. Everybody, there are people who truly believe this is what's happening and it works for them. And they're even spreading messages of light that help people. So it's all good. I am not here to say that they're doing anything wrong, unless they're infiltrated. And there are a lot of people who are infiltrated as well. But the point is that to be safe, to get to the source, you must go inside of you. We already have all the answers. They're inside of us. The only way to connect is through your heart. As you connect through your heart is connected to Gaia. Gaia is one of us. She came from the 25th dimension. We connect with Gaia, we are safe. Gaia never lies. Gaia has been protecting us for a very long time, and she's waiting for us so we can all move on to new Earth. So this is the safest way to do it. Now, the other thing here that I wanted to note is that they say you can ask questions and we always answer. We have been taught that we don't have the answers. And again, we must look outside of ourselves for channelers, for religious authorities, anyone outside of us to tell us what to do, even in spiritual circles. This is not the goal. Dependency is never the goal. For us to move forward, we must be sovereign. We must be independent. We are awakened. We are ascended masters. Imagine how funny it is, this concept that we must rely on what somebody else is telling us as if they are more than us. For example, I am sharing this information, but in no way am I trying to say that I am special. You can get this information the same way that I have. It doesn't have to look exactly the way that my information works, has been explained to me, but it doesn't mean that you don't have your own source. We block ourselves. Each one of us is able to connect, but we block ourselves in the moment. And I think they do explain it at some point. It's either in this description or in literature transcription, they talk about this, that the moment that we question things, that's when we block a connection that's already there, because we are connected. Even though we're pretending to be playing certain roles where we look a little lost and we don't know what's going on, it's just a game. It's like an actor going on stage. They don't remember their name in real life just because they're playing a part. They're playing the part, but they know it's just a role they're playing. They still know who they really are. Instead, we played it to the extent that now we even question who we are. I mean, which is craziness. And this is, what's been done to us through all the systems that have happened on this planet. But I am saying this because it is important that you reconnect, make an effort to reconnect with yourself. Somehow, whatever that looks like to you, it might look like focusing on the now or using intention as you're washing the dishes. It just doesn't have to be rocket science, okay? There doesn't need to be a ritual. I see a lot of new age stuff where they have rituals and stuff. I'm like, where's time for that? I'm a single mom. I barely have time to breathe. Today, for me to be able to record this video, I had to find somebody to watch my daughter. So this is real life, okay? But it doesn't mean that we make excuses. If it means that you take 3 deep breaths during the day, some point during the day, and connect to your heart, that's what needs to happen for you. Just make an effort, because the truth is already there waiting for you. And we have been told, especially as light workers, that we cannot wait till the last minute to remember these things, because there is value remembering them sooner, so that we can be aware of what we came here to do. No matter what, we'll know what to do when the time comes. So have no fear. This is already handled. We know what we're doing. All right, so let's continue. Well, little fluffy, woolly thingy. All right, Carolyn. So there are some that are connected, but I'll just put that there. Their line is not so clear. How can they get more connected and allow themselves to hear what is being said to them? Me. If you want to hear, you will hear. If your intention is truly to connect, you will connect. When you doubt, when you find it odd, when you find it unbelievable, when you're unsure, all you're doing is denying the connection that's already there. Carolyn, true, very true. CLEA'S has given this practitioner permission to ask a question, and knowing that my work is here, how do I continue this work in order to create more energy amongst people and still work in the 3D world in order to maintain what is needed to live in 3D? And again, I left this message in because it's not really private information, but I do believe it's something that can relate to many people, and this is why I left this in. Me. You will be given the means that you will find you will be given the means and you will find a balance. This is your job. This is your skill to find a balance. This is your goal to find balance. You're in transition. This is where you prove to yourself that you can find a balance. You will not right away be able to only focus on energy, but it will move as quickly as you're allowing it to. If you allow it to move, there is no time. If it can happen today, it can happen tomorrow. You are in charge. You are delaying because you're not ready. You don't feel ready for what is coming, but just know that you will be by the time it starts unfolding. Carolyn. So I moved so quickly through the other pieces of this journey. I manifested them very quickly, and I'm stuck here. What do I do to get unstuck? Me. Many of the light workers are stuck because they feel like they don't have the guidance, and yet they do. If you are stuck, it's not about asking why you're stuck. It's about knowing that it's not real. You are holding yourself back because you have not embraced who you are fully yet, or you would not be asking this question. You are the most powerful entity in the universe. You think about that. Carolyn, thank you for that. Thank you for that knowledge. Is there anything else that you feel that you need to let Clea know as we're ending the session? Me. There is no more time. Seek the discomfort. This will help you accelerate. You have been asked to come here, and you accepted this because you can remember very quickly. Do the work. Stop. Take the time. You ask us questions all the time, and then you never sit and let us tell you the entire story because you don't want to know. You ask all these questions today because you really don't believe it. You don't want to believe it. And yet, you know it is time. There is no more time. You have to do what you came here to. You cannot wait till the last minute because there are people that need the guidance now. And the reason I wanted to share this last tidbit as well, even though again, it's the truth. They're telling the truth. This is exactly what's happening. I know, but I don't want to know. But I share this because I know there are a lot of people like me. They're in between dimensions in a way. You live in this 3D and you're like, no, this can't be possible. Like you look at things, you're like, there's no way. This is such far-fetched stuff. And yet inside yourself, you know that something is very much going on. You even see it out there, that things are changing in a way that nobody could have ever expected. So I know I'm not the only one caught in this discrepancy, which is difficult to deal with sometimes. Some days are better than others. And so I just want to share this, that the key here is they're saying, seek the discomfort and it will help you accelerate. So this is my message of encouragement to everybody, that we came here because we know how to do this. We know how to handle this. We have the skills needed, or we would have not volunteered or chosen to be here, period. So you don't have to doubt yourself. Even when you're thinking, oh, what am I supposed to do? Just stop and know that you already know. You might not remember. Our brain might not be able to wrap itself around this, but it doesn't mean that you at a soul level, which is really an essence level, don't know this. So we're just going to have to keep the faith and just follow our intuition, because deep down, we all know that we came here for something very special. So I know that if I'm talking to you, it's because you can feel it too. So thank you so much for watching this video, and please stay tuned. I'll have more information to share with you, and I really look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Take care. Thanks again, and have a great day. Bye-bye.